When we think of scams, we think of restaurants, taxis, people on the streets, or even dark alleys where you're not supposed to be. A lot of times, scams can also happen where you sleep. It took me a long time to come out and really share this crazy multi-layered story of how my hostel where I slept tried to scam me. Not only did they try to scam me, they bribed me to not talk about this by giving me an extra day for free to stay. You may not know me, but my name is Derek. I'm a world traveler and I like to share stories from around the world. This is a story of how my hostel tried to scam me. Before we begin, I've created a full travel guide on how to travel Egypt. You can click that right here. And I also make travel blogs to help people learn how to travel on a budget, travel hacks, and I give out free essentials to enhance your video production. PaintYourLifestyle.com. You can find more information in the description below. But jumping right into it, let's go back a year ago. This is my second day as a full-time creator, and I went straight to Africa, Egypt. This hostel is called CHEERS Hostel. You may have heard about it, you may have not, but that is the hostel that I'm talking about that tried to attempt this multi-layered scam on me. So bear with me, there is several men involved. I don't remember their names at all, so we're just gonna go by guy. And if there's more, there's gonna be guy number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So how this story starts is I'm checked into a hostel called CHEERS in Cairo, Egypt. And these people are very friendly at first. But what I didn't know is that they're already plotting because I'm a foreigner, right? So the receptionist, I don't remember his name. I think he's like new. He was generally a nice dude. You know, we're talking, we're getting to know each other. I'm telling them, you know, like I quit my job to follow my dreams and it brought me here to Egypt. I came here to travel. I came here to see the land of Egypt and so on and so on. And, you know, we became friends overnight, right? That was my first day. This guy, the receptionist guy, he's telling me, hey, I have a gift for you. So obviously, I'm be like, you know, when you hear something like that, you know, you're just, and this is like me being inexperienced in this country, right? I said, well, what is it? He said, we're gonna take you to the pyramids of Giza. And I'm like, wow, well, thanks, you know, like that's a great thing because like I already had it checked off that I want to go there. They're gonna help me get there. I don't have to like find the trouble of getting there myself. So he says, yeah, they have a gift for me and someone's gonna pick me up and they're gonna take me to the pyramids of Giza free of charge on the house. I don't gotta pay nothing. I was like, I don't gotta pay nothing. He was like, you don't gotta pay nothing. Don't worry about it. You're a guest in our country. We wanna leave a good impression with you. And I said, wow, you guys were great. Thank you. Fast forward, this guy comes. I don't even know his name. This is guy number 2. So guy number 1 is a receptionist. This is guy number 2. He comes in through the front door of the hostel and he says, you know, I'm here to take you to the pyramids of Giza. Guy number 1 says, this guy is going to be your guide for the day. He's going to take you and you're going to have fun, document everything you need, so on and so on. And I said, okay, no problem. I'm having a great day. You know, I woke up, I'm ready. And this guy, you know, he's a little bit taller than I am. I'm talking to him. I'm telling him a little about me. He's telling me a little about himself. As we're driving to Giza, he's showing me like the Tahrir Square, where all the revolutions happened, the most popular areas, the Coptic part of Egypt. He's literally like the tour guide that guy number 1 told me, right? We're going through, I'm on the freeway. I see the pyramids for the first time. I'm starstruck because like, I can't believe like I'm seeing this for the first time, you know, like my life is coming, you know, the way I want it to be. As we're getting closer to the pyramids of Giza, we're going through a back route. This is already like the initial part of the scam because like I talk about this on my website, on my blog, that there are 2 entrances between pyramids of Giza. There's like the official entrance in the front and then there's like a back entrance in the back. But this is like another part of the Giza that I've never even seen before. So when we pull up to this back part of the pyramids, he's already telling me like, hey, I want to give you just a fair warning. There's a saying that we have here. If we leave you in there, we leave you for the wolves to eat. Something like that. So essentially he's saying, if I go in there by myself, I'm a free-for-all for all the vendors, all the people selling stuff inside. People are gonna bother me, so on and so on, you know, as if I need a tour guide or not. So he's suggesting that I get a tour guide with his guy. I thought you're my tour guide. And he's like, no, 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 I'm just the driver. But you don't have to, but it's mostly recommended that you should for your own safety. And I'm just like, okay. And reason why I'm playing along, because I already did the research prior to going to the pyramids, because I already know you have to pay a certain amount. I already know you have to pay for the big and small pyramid. I already know you have to pay a certain amount just to get in. So when he was telling me all this new information, I never saw this online. So I was just curious, like, let me hear what he has to say. He's telling me, you know, also to play my bargain well, make sure my mouthpiece is good to bargain with this guy. I'm like, okay. So he brings me into this hidden part of the Giza. It's like in the back, you can't even see it. And I walk in and there's like a painting, like the painting like right behind me, like a painting of the pyramids is like 1, 2, and 3. They're all in just one big painting, right? Visualize that. I sit down and it's like a interrogation room or something. This Egyptian guy comes in. He's a little taller than me. And he's now, you know, shaking hands with the guy that drove me, right? This is guy number 3. And this guy is like, okay, I'm gonna be your tour guide for today. What package do you want? And this guy's package is based off of the size of the pyramids, which is kind of, you know, it's interesting. If I want the small package, which is like the small pyramid package, they'll take me to this part and they'll take pictures and then they'll leave. And then if I want the medium package, they'll take me to the first and second pyramid and then I get like a horse and then they'll leave. And then the third big package, which is everything, they'll take me to the first, second, and third, and I get a horse or camel and they'll take pictures for me and they'll give me the history on the pyramids. I said, how much? So guy number 3 wanted to charge me roughly over 2,000 Egyptian pounds for this tour. So if you guys don't know how much that is converted into dollars, that's about $100 for this tour. I tried to bring it down as much as I could and he just wouldn't budge. I think we agreed on 1,900 Egyptian pounds, which is about $80. So for that, they were going to take me to all 3 pyramids. They were going to give me a camel. They were going to give me photo shoots of the pyramids, everything, and a history tour. And they're going to bring me down to the Sphinx to get additional photos. So when guy number 3 created this tour package, he brought me outside and this other guy number 4, was selling, you know, like those wraps. You'll see them on like everybody's Instagram photos or YouTube videos, like the black and white head wrap that is used to keep you from overheating from the sun, because this was a very hot day. I said, okay, that's where you get it from. Like, I definitely want to get that so I can get some like good photos later, right? This guy was selling it to me for 150 Egyptian pounds. Mind you, those things are like 10, 15 pounds, probably 20 pounds. So hold that thought later when I reveal how much they actually cost. So I got my head wrap. Now I've been given the camel, and now they introduced me to guy number 5. So guy number 5, I have a picture of this guy. Unfortunately, I don't have videos or pictures of the previous guys because, mind you, this is like my 2nd day in the country. I'm just now learning how to be a creator. And I didn't think to record this because like I didn't think I was being scammed or in any type of danger or anything like that. I have this picture there, and this is guy number 5, where guy number 4 that sold me the package was like, I'm gonna be your tour guide. Remember you said that? And he's like, no, no, no. I'm just a tour guide. I'm just a seller. This is your tour guide. Right now, I'm feeling like I've been just passed down by like a whole football team. You know, like a cheerleader just getting wrecked, just getting ran through, you know? Like I've been passed down to like 5 different guys. Like that's crazy already, you know? And each one of them have said, I'm your tour guide, but they're not. So at this point, I'm already thinking like, you know, something's off because I keep getting passed down to 4 or 5 different men within 1 hour. We're on the camels and they're taking me to a back route of the pyramids. So what you guys don't understand right now is this type of scam, this part of the scam is where they avoid they kind of block you from getting into the main entrance. A lot of times, people in this country are going to try to back route you into certain things that's fairly cheap, but they're gonna back route you and just upcharge you. Guy number 2 brought me into the back route is because had I taken the route in the main entrance, I would have just paid 200 Egyptian pounds just to get in. And if I needed a tour guide or something, it would have been another 400 or something. Very cheap. So a lot of times these guys will try to backdoor you into these tourist spots, these museums, to kind of upcharge you as much as they can before you reach the main entrance. That's literally the first part of the scam. So now that I'm in the back route, I'm like away from everybody. I don't know anything. This is like my first time. Everything's just very surreal to me. Everything's very new. I'm very hot. I asked this guy to just take me like a few pictures, which he did. And then I asked him to take me to the entrance of the pyramid. He said, okay, once I take you to the first pyramid, because I was gifted all 3 pyramids, plus a camel, plus photos, plus a history tour of the pyramids. Once I got to the first pyramid, they took pictures. This guy said, I'm done. And I should pay him on top of that. And I said, you're done for what? He was like, this is all I was told to do for you. I said, what? And I was so pissed off because I was just left there. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not what I wanted. Complete BS. I can kind of see the game that they're playing at this point. I said, no worries. You know what? I'm going to enjoy this pyramids by myself. I don't need you guys. Home he can go. You're good. Take your camel. And he went. Again, like I was promised like a full excursion for like $80. But this guy only took me to the first pyramid, took a couple pictures, and then left. And on top of that, demanded tip on top of that, which I did not. At this point, I'm super pissed. They just wasted my time. And when I got to the entrance, I can see that, you know, there's the entrance part is where everybody comes in. Everybody from around the world comes in. There's tourist bus, there's locals, there's foreigners coming in, and they're paying, you know, just simply 400 Egyptian pounds. Simple. And then if you want anything more, you can pay, you know, for a ride around, whatever. You can find it, but it will never exceed 2,000 Egyptian pounds. That's the problem. I pay additional for the pyramids, the big pyramid. And mind you, what I'm paying for was supposed to cover all the big pyramid, right? It did not. So I pay for the big pyramid, I go in and I come out. Then I go to the next pyramid and it's so hot that I almost like had a heat stroke. The guy asked me like, you know, where am I from? What am I doing? How come I don't have like a proper scarf? And I'm like, what are you talking about? This scarf is proper. And he was like, no, the scarf is fake. He examined it right in front of me. He's like, the scarf is fake. It's like plastic. It's nothing. And I'm like, what is the scarf supposed to look like? He brought out his own. This guy's scarf was like 3 times bigger. And the texture was way more durable than like the one I had. The one I had felt like paper. So they were telling me like that whoever sold it to you, like you got scammed. And he asked how much did the guy sell it to you for? I said 150 Egyptian pounds. He was like, no. These are like 20, you know, highest 30 pounds, you know, somewhere within like the 10 to 20 range. And the guy got me. So I'm like, oh, you know, he got me. Cool. Now I know how much these things cost. So now that I learned about the scarf scam, I got tricked. I was pretty much really pissed off. And then I told him like, you know, like something about this whole tour doesn't feel right. I was brought into the back and they tried to sell me some type of big giant tour for like almost $100. And the guy was telling me like, what are you talking about? There's no tour like that for $100 around here. And then everything started clicking, like, you know, the receptionist at the hostel, the driver, the tour guide, the scammer with the scarf, guy number 5 with the camel. Everything started coming together. I'm like, yo, this is one big scam. And then I'm supposed to pay $80, $100 for me to just walk myself to these pyramids? No. I left these pyramids after confirming that this tour is a complete scam. All of it, because there is no tour. It's just some group of guys organizing this through the hostel. I get like a ride back with there's like a camel service within the pyramids of Giza. I get like a ride back. They take me to like this back route. I couldn't even find this back route. I just remember there was a KFC nearby. So this back route is behind a KFC outside of the pyramids of Giza, right? So I go there, I'm yelling. I'm like, where is the guy that sold me this tour? This guy came out with like a toothpick and he's like, what is the problem? What happened? I said, you're full of crap. You guys are all scammers. There is no tour. And the guy you sent me off didn't even do his job. He just took a picture of me and then left. I'm not paying you $80 worth of Egyptian pounds. And I'm going to let everybody know what you guys are doing. This guy got in my face and said, how dare you like judge him or attempt to say he's a fraud or anything like that. Like, we were about to fight. And then guy number 3, which is the driver, came out of nowhere and tried to stop the fight. I'm like, no, this is bullshit. Like, I see what each and every one of you guys are up to, and I'm gonna let everyone know. From that point, I just walked off. And mind you, like, where I walked, Pyramids of Giza and where my hostel is super far away, but I didn't care. I was just so upset, right? The police got involved too, but they defused everything, and they just told the driver guy to take me back to the hostel. As guy number 3, which is the driver, took me back, on his way back, he can see that I'm upset, and he's saying like, hey, I'm so sorry about what happened. This wasn't supposed to happen. You know, even before that, he was arguing with guy number 4, you know, like in Arabic, you know, like they're just yelling at each other. They don't know what's going on. I think at this point they're afraid, they're worried, they're pissed off, and they're yelling at each other because like, I'm upset. You know, like, I think once you have like an unhappy tourist, you know, word gets around that, you know, you shouldn't bring your money towards them in this part of the world. So I think that's why they were arguing with each other. But in the car, he was trying to like calm me down, and he was trying to explain that he's not affiliated with this guy that he brought me to. He's not affiliated with anybody at Giza. He just thought it'd be a good idea to bring me into the back route to get the best experience. Like, they always ask you, are you happy? Are you happy? Are you happy? You know, no, I'm not happy, man. This is BS. Like, just bring me back. You know, he was pissed, whatever. And then once he brought me back, I gave him like a couple pounds just for his time, because he did drive me from, you know, the hostel back to the pyramids, and he did pick me up and bring me back. So I paid him for his time. Once I got back into the hostel, I can already see that he called the front desk of the CHEERS hostel, and the front desk guy, which is guy number 1, told his manager, like, this is what happened with one of the clients from the hostel. So when I got upstairs, I went straight to my room. I was super pissed. I was gonna talk about this somehow. I just wasn't sure. The manager of, like, I think he's like the manager of the hostel, he came, which is like, let's just say guy number 6, whatever, 6 or 7, I lost count. He was talking to me and saying, you know, hey, I'm super sorry. This wasn't supposed to happen. This tour wasn't free. He was trying to explain that the guy, his receptionist, was guy number 1, misinformed me about the tour, telling me that it was free. This whole tour was supposed to be free because that's what the guy initially said in the beginning. But as I got deeper into this scam, it became more and more expensive. So the manager explained that he apologized. It was supposed to be free, but there's miscommunication. And he was trying to say, like, the guy is very new. I should not be upset. They also understood that I was a blogger, and they should have not tried to do this attempt on me, because I can just write them up anyhow I like. So how he wanted to compensate for what happened today, and he was very apologetic about it. He said, I'm going to give you an extra day if you don't write about this incident that happened today. And I said, okay. I took the extra day, defused, and I let it go. And they said, you know, not to talk about it ever again, that it's just between me and the hostel, which I did, which brings us back to this point right now. It's been dwelling on me for such a long time that I now want to come out and say this is the most craziest story or an experience I've ever had traveling. You know, like, this is such a multi-layered scam that could happen to anybody. And it went wrong in so many ways. Had I paid, you know, like, they would have just shared the money 6 different ways. But it was just the idea that, you know, they can tell me that it's free in the beginning, and then as you get deeper into the scam, that's when they start upcharging. So this is a story of like how my hostel tried to scam me. And this scam starts at the source of where I sleep. Scams happen on the street, restaurants, taxis. This can happen where you sleep. They will target you even where you sleep. And I'm saying, like, not to trust anybody, but just be careful who you trust, because these same people who I trusted tried to really take advantage of me big time at the end of the day. But that's all I have for you guys. I hope this story like really brings some insight to you, to Cairo, Egypt, or even any part of the world. Things can happen anywhere, on the road, restaurants, excursion, and for my instance, where you sleep. If this happened to you or anything similar, let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to talk about this in more detail of how to avoid it. With that being said, have a good night, guys.